So the 4 kinds are like this. The first is an idea you simply have, and it causes no behavior in you whatsoever. I might be sitting here and thinking, I wouldn't mind getting a cup of tea. But if I don't act on it, well, it hasn't caused any behavior, and I've just thought about it, and maybe I've criticized it, and I've thought to myself, no, I've already had 2 cups of tea a day, I don't want another one. Okay, that's an idea of the first type. The idea of the second type is, I wouldn't mind having a cup of tea, and actually get up, go over to the kettle and the teapot and go through the process of making the tea and then drinking the tea. But if there's no one else here in my house and no one ever sees me having that cup of tea, there's no possibility that anyone could ever copy it. And so although it's an idea that's caused a behavior in me, there's no possibility of it being replicated. So that's the second type. So an idea of the third type would be everything I just did then in the second type, have the idea of a cup of tea, actually going through the process of making the cup of tea, and someone actually sees me having the cup of tea and drinking the cup of tea. But if they decide not to copy that, well, it's not a meme at all. Okay, it's just an idea that's caused behavior that they happen to have observed. Now in the fourth type, this is where we have the idea and it causes a behavior in me, and I go and have my cup of tea and I drink it here out of my University of Oxford cup, and I put it onto a podcast like this, and people who are watching see it, and then for whatever reason lots of people go out and buy University of Oxford cups and decide to start, I don't know, drinking cups of tea on video. That would be a meme. That is where we've got an idea that has caused behavior that's being replicated. Now that's a silly idea. Most other memes are far more useful, and they tend to get replicated because they're solving some kind of problem or they're achieving some other kind of aim. Although there are memes out there that are just as silly or trivial as that and tend to get replicated. They might not have a long lifespan though. But whatever the case, this is how the broad category of things that we call ideas can be distinguished from memes, the ideas that tend to get replicated and that tend to persist over time, especially across many generations. Not always. Maybe they'll only exist for some days or weeks or years. We know this definitely on the internet, that there are certain memes that seem to arise and then decline again very quickly. But broadly speaking, memes are things that do persist over many generations, and the longest lived memes tend to cause cultural changes as well. Now we might consider, I have a couple of volumes up here of Feynman's lectures on physics. Well, they came from a certain history of memes, the history of memes that began with Galileo and Kepler, and then Newton, who came up with Newtonian classical physics, and those memes were passed on through many generations due to people delivering lectures, convening classes, writing books about them, eventually leading to Feynman himself delivering lectures, which were published in a book, which included aspects of Newtonian physics. So that meme has persisted over time and has been refined even, and its rate of propagation has increased throughout the world. And in fact, some of the refinements to those original memes tend to improve them and cause them to be replicated in even better ways, or to persist even more robustly, or to be promoted throughout the world even more than what they otherwise would have been.